my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my June TBR. I'm really excited to talk about the books that I want to read in June, but just like, I don't know if I would call it like a disclaimer, but like a heads up. I read very slowly, so that means I don't try to read like a million books in a month or like 20 books in a month. I read like on average 5. On a good day, maybe 6 or 7. However, I don't know, like I don't have an excuse. I'm just like a slow reader. I don't read that fast. However, I still enjoy reading. It's still something that I love. And I do pretty regularly with school and work and things like that. So I've been reading more books this year, which I've been really excited about. But anyway, so I'm going to show you the books that I want to read in June, and we'll talk about some of them. It's about 6 books, and it's very ambitious because I probably won't get to all of them. One is a trilogy, so I know for a fact I won't finish that in the month of June, but I do want to start it. So yeah. So if you saw my last vlog, or if it's been posted or not, I don't even know if it's been posted because I recorded some footage for it. I recorded it in slow motion, also without the sound on. So that was like a whole thing. And I don't know if it'll be posted by now because I need to refilm the ending of it and I haven't gotten around to it. But anyways, the first book that I'm reading for the month of June is Stephen King's Billy Summers. This book is about a contract killer who is going on his last kind of hoorah, his last mission, and he gets kind of tangled up in a lot of stuff. I'm 200 pages into this book. It's about a 500-page book, so I'm about 40%, 35, 40%, I don't know, some percentage into this book, and I am really, really enjoying this book. I think that it is so good. It's everything that I want, like a book that talks about like contract killers and hitmen to be. It's really good. It's crime fiction. It's not horror per se. I guess like whatever your definition of horror is, it can be horror because it does deal with like difficult topics, but to me it's like I think I would categorize it as crime fiction. Anyway, so yeah, I'm reading this book and it's going really well. Last month I read, we're still in May. I'm really enjoying my Stephen King kick. I read The Outsider just a few days ago, and that one was really good. I gave it 3.75 stars, but I guess you can round that up to 4 because on Goodreads I gave it 4, but on Storygraph I gave it 3.75, and that was only because of the ending. And not like the very ending because I really love the last paragraph. Like it had my jaw on the floor, but I mean like the twist, if that makes sense. But anyway, so the next book I want to read, and we'll just keep going on the Stephen King kick while we're on it, and that is Pet Sematary. This one is, Stephen King described this one as his most like scary, his like scariest novel to date that he's written, but he said that back in 2000, so maybe that's changed. I think his author note says September 20th, 2000. And this book came out in, I think like 1987. Let's see. 1983. Okay, that was before my time. However, I'm really excited to read this book. I think that it's going to be really good. It says that when Dr. Louis Creed takes a new job and moves his family to an idyllic and rural town of Ludlow, Maine, This new beginning seems too good to be true, yet despite Ludo's tranquility, there's an undercurrent of danger that exists here. Those trucks on the road outside of the Creed's beautiful old home travel by a little too quickly for one thing, as evidenced by the makeshift pet cemetery out back in the nearby woods. Then there are warnings to Louis, both real and from the depths of his nightmares, that he should not venture beyond the borders of this little graveyard. A blood-chilling truth is hidden there, one more terrifying than death itself and hideously more powerful. An ominous fate befalls anyone who dares to tamper with this forbidden place, as Louis is about to discover for himself. I read the intro for this, the introduction that Stephen King wrote, and a lot of this is like loosely based on his like real life. He got a lot of inspiration from a time in his life that appeared in his life where he was a resident writer at some college, I think in Maine. So yeah, I guess that's why it can be like really terrifying, because it's loosely based on your life, and if something like horrific happens, that can be really scary to write about. Like, I've been there trying to write about stuff in my own life. It's kind of daunting. And the next book, well, the next trilogy, the next books I want to read and June are the Mr. Mercedes, the Bill Hodges trilogy. If you can see it, my camera isn't focusing, but anyway, so we have Mr. Mercedes, Finders Keepers, and End of Watch. And this one is gorgeous. I really love the cover of this one. It is so pretty. If you can see, it has like some fish and it just feels nice. I don't know. I'm probably not going to get to this whole trilogy by the end of June, but I do want to start it and see how far I can get in it. But I probably start it after I read Pet Sematary, because I'm really interested in reading Pet Sematary, and I have read some of Mr. Mercedes before, but I had to stop reading it because it was so scary. It was just very unnerving, and I'm like late. I go to sleep early and I get up super duper early in the morning, so like the sun is like not even up yet and I'm up reading, so the house is like quiet, and yeah, I just like, I get really terrified, like really scared, because I usually have on like my headphones and I'm like listening to the audiobook and things like that. But yeah, so the Mr. Mercedes trilogy is about this guy named Bill Hodges who's tracking down this killer. His name is Brady Hartsfield, who did like some really messed up things, and he's like a really messed up character. One of the characters that appeared in the Mr. Mercedes trilogy actually appeared in The Outsider, which I didn't know was going to happen. And actually The Outsider spoiled me for the Mr. Mercedes trilogy, but I'm still going to read it because I really want to know just like how we got to that point. So Holly is one of the characters that's in the Mr. Mercedes series. And she also shows up in The Outsider. So, and I think he also wrote like a standalone book about Holly, because she became such like a very famous character of his that a lot of people liked, and she was my favorite character in The Outsider. So I can attest to that. I definitely understand. The next 3 books that I have here that I want to talk about are romance books. The first one is The Fake Boyfriend Fiasco by Talia Hibbert. If you can see that. Why isn't my camera focusing on anything? What? Okay. So we have The Fake Boyfriend Fiasco by Talia Hibbert. Listen, I have like a whole gripe with Talia Hibbert. She doesn't know me, but I just don't understand like how, I guess you can write about whatever you want, right? And I never want to say that like, oh, like you're doing something like bad if you don't write about like black love. But like as a black woman, you would think that at least some of her books would be about black love, like black on black love. But like none of them are. They're all with interracial couples or biracial couples. Which, hey, I'm like not opposed to that at all. Like that's you know, Love Who You Love. I'm all about like that train. But it just comes off as like a little weird to me that she like has never written just like a black on black love story. So I read Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I didn't read the other ones. I read her YA novel, I think it's called Highly Suspicious and Unbearably Cute or something. I don't know. But I read that one. It's actually on the shelf behind me. But I decided to pick up the Fake Boyfriend Fiasco simply because like the main character has all these tattoos and I'm like into that. I think it looks really cool, and like if you put tattoos on the cover of your book, I'm gonna read it. So just a FYI. The next book that I'm gonna read is Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. I got this book in my last vlog, which will be posted soon, hopefully. But this one is about workplace rivals. It's black, it's sapphic. We love that here. You don't see that often, but I'm really excited to read this. It looks so freaking cute. It's about Noah and Sage, who work at I think a publishing company or something. They do like web comics, so I assume that's like a publishing company or a publishing house. But they do like comics and stuff, and like one is like really like top of her game. She's like the boss and all that, and the other one is trying to be like the big boss too, I guess. Or something happens between the two of them where they have to collaborate or something like that. I don't really know what this is about. I just know it's black and sapphic. That's all I know. And that's what we're going to go with. So I'm going to read that one this month. And the next book I want to read is Pretty by Keith Miller Jr. This one I'm really excited about. This is a YA novel about these two boys who eventually fall in love, but they come from a really rough neighborhood and a very difficult past where they aren't expected to fall in love, but I'm assuming they do. This I think is this is contemporary. I think this is contemporary. I don't necessarily think this is characterized as a romance or anything like that, but I'm assuming they get together. I'm hoping they get together. This is a male-male romance. It's a black male-male romance, which again, you don't see many of those. So anytime I see stuff like this, I'm gonna pick it up because I think representation is so important and I love to see it, and I want more stories like this. So I'm excited for that. This one says, on the verge of summer before his senior year, Jay is a soft soul in a world of concrete. While his older brother is everything people expect a man to be, Jay simply blends into the background to everyone except when it comes to Leroy. As everything in their lives begins to heat up, whispered rumors over the murder of a young journalist in a long brewing territory, tensions hang like a dark cloud over Jay and Leroy's neighborhood. Pulled into the orbit of the Black Diamonds, whose work to protect the black neighborhoods of Savannah began with his father and now falls to his older brother, Leroy knows that finding out who attacked his brother is not only the key to protecting everyone he loves, but also the only way he can ever be with Jay. Wading through a murky history of family mistakes, Leroy soon discovers that there's no keeping Jay safe when Jay's own family isn't just as deep. Now Jay and Leroy must puzzle through secrets hidden in plain sight and scramble to uncover who is determined to eliminate the Black Diamonds before someone else gets hurt, even if its cost might be his own electric connection. Their own electric connection. So I'm really excited to read this one. This is going to be really good, I can tell. But yeah, those are the books that I want to read in June. I'm excited to hear about what books you want to read in June. Or June is my birthday month, so I'm going to be doing a lot of shopping, picking up a lot of new books that I'm really excited for. And There are a lot of books that are coming out in June that I'm excited for, like Little Rot by, I don't want to butcher their name, so I'm not going to say it, but it's called Little Rot. Whoever You Are, Honey by Olivia Gatwood. There's another book that I have on my list, but I'm excited for like this Jodi Picoult book that comes out in August, but that's not June, so we're not going to get into that. But yeah, those are the books I'm excited for to read. I hope that you're excited to read some books this month too, and you should let me know down in the comments what those books are and we can chat about them. If you've read any of these books that I've talked about, I would love to hear your comments on them and if you recommend them or not. But yeah, thank you for coming back to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.